Hey everybody, welcome to my usual me and welcome back to Last Oasis. Alright guys, I've had a lot of questions about torque batteries, how torque works, and what it can do for you. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to explain to you a little bit about torque and how to move it around, how to make a torque battery, and how to use it in your ship, what it's all there for, how much you're going to be able to get, how you can get more of it faster, and all that good news. So let me go ahead and get started with torque, guys. Torque, what is torque? If you go ahead and you remember these wind-up planes when you were a kid, I don't know if you had them when you were a child, but they had a propeller, and you would move your finger around and around, and remove that propeller around and around. It had a rubber band, and it would get tighter and tighter and tighter. And what would happen was was creating torque, and then what would do when you let your finger go, that propeller would start to spin. And it would move that plane forward and up into the sky. That's torque, okay? You're creating a tension, like a spring, that can be released or can be harnessed and released later for power, for extra speed, to actually power other items. So all the items in the game, for the most part, are powered by torque if they have moving parts. That means your walker, that means your soil excavator. And let's see, I don't know what else I can think of off the top of my head, but there's a few more. And so we're going to go ahead and we're going to use torque here to mess with some of this stuff. All right, so your walker, anything with a dinghy or above, is going to have an upgrade. Let me go ahead and go into the storage right quick and go hit E. And you have these upgrades here. You have cargo, water, hatch, armor, mobility, and torque. Now, Spider doesn't have torque, although there is a torque module that might allow you to store torque in a Spider, but we're not sure yet. Anyway, so I have a torque module in my in my dinghy. I have 3 of them actually. It generates stacking this module increases the amount of torque generated by a moving walker. So this increases the amount of torque generated by a moving walker. So this is allowing my walker to create torque faster. And right now my walker can create about 1 torque per second. So in about 15 minutes I can generate about 1,000 torque. I think that's how the math works out. So and what happens is that's basically my sprint button, your shift button, right? Where you're normally used to sprint in a game with. That's the same way with your walker. You don't want to use that unless you absolutely have to, because you want to build it up. And the reason for that is because when you're trying to make tablets to make things out of the fragments, right? When you're making tablets, like the slingshot costs 2 tablets. Well, to make a tablet, it costs 100 fragments and 400 torque. Okay, and so there's 2 ways you can create torque in the game. The first one is in your walker, which I think, what does my walker have right now? My walker right now has 789 torque. Okay, we did that little race earlier that you saw in the earlier video, which is up in the all my videos are up in the right hand corner of the video, guys. So my playlist is right there if you want to take a look. Anyway, so I used up I used some torque in the race. It was fun. It was cool. I'm going to get that back in a second. It's not a big deal. But so to move torque, you actually have to have a torque battery in your inventory. And we're going to go ahead. I'm just going to right click this. Boop. It's going to go right in that place right here. Okay, that's where your backpack would be, or your water bag, or your makeshift bottle. But but this here will hold 1,000 torque. Okay, you just drag it over. You hold down the mouse button and you drag and drop. That's how you move torque from one item to another. But you have to have a torque battery to be able to move it. So, and anything that requires torque, you can go ahead and you can move it from one torque item to another. That's how you move torque. Now, the other way you can make torque is in a windmill right here. I made a windmill. I don't really care for this thing. It's really slow. I've had this thing for a couple of hours now, although my base has only been out for, I'd say, about 30 minutes. So I generated 231 torque. So that's cool. I'll just drag that over and we'll stack that. Now I have 1,020. Now that's enough torque for me to go and make 2 tablets if I want. Now my walker can actually hold more than 1,000 torque. It can actually hold, this little dinghy can hold, I think I've had it up to like, I've had it way higher than 1,000. 1,100, 1,200, something like that. I don't know exactly how much it can hold. I know it can hold all this torque. But even though I don't really care for the windmills, I have this out on my base right here, and I have it. So a lot of people put theirs above. This thing is 4 walls high, right? 3 walls high, 4 walls high. It looks like. I think. Yeah, it's looking like it's about 4 walls high. Maybe not quite, but this thing is a beacon for anybody that you're around. So I want to put this guy as low as I can. So I'm going to put it's still going to stick out over the top of my base, but it's not like if you put that on top of your base and you've got a 2-story base, you've got 6 stories of a giant flag going, hey, I'm over here. So in my opinion, it won't go right up against the wall because it needs room to turn. But I put it right here on the second foundation, and I don't really have a problem with it. Placing your base, you use the plus and negative on your numpad to raise and lower your base. And I always place the door facing an incline on a hill, and then I just raise it up, and I've got no problem. So, and they're super easy to pick up, so whatever. Anyway, to make a torque battery, let me go ahead and show you right quick. To make a torque battery, you're going to find the torque battery. I believe it's under crafting here. No, it's not. It's under your equipment here. It's right here. It's right on the right past the foraging pouch. So it's the second tier over, second tree over, and it's about about halfway down. It's right below your it's right next to your makeshift bottle, right below your grappling hook and over. It's right here. This is your torque battery. It takes 8 earth wax, 4 rope, and 6 bone splinters. So I already have that in my inventory. We're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead. I already have that. So now I can just go. I've already learned it, so I can go see. And it's under equipment. It's on the right-hand side here. It's going to hold it. We're going to make one in our inventory like that. Very easy. Now, you can switch these out. And to show you, I'm going to use one that's actually damaged. I've got a couple more. I'd like to have a couple hanging around. You can only have. Actually, I'm going to bring both of these in here. You can only have torque in a battery or in a machine. You can't put it in your inventory. So let me switch this out real quick. So I can switch this out. See, I can have 2. Can I have 3? I don't know if I can have 3 or not. Let me put this away. Can I have 3? I think I only have 2. Yeah, you can only have 2 torque batteries on your person at any one time. So I would suggest having a water bag, but it's just like water. Torque is just like water. You can't carry it with you. But if you do drop it, it's not lost. So I'm going to grab this torque right here. There's a 1023, and then if I decide I don't want this torque, if I get hurt, every time you die, you lose a little durability, right, on everything in your inventory. So if all of a sudden this broke, boop, it'd be gone, right? Boom, it'd be gone. Where'd it go? It's at my feet. It's in a bag. So right here we have 1023 torque. I have to put it either in a torque battery. You can't pick it up off the ground and put it in. There's no way of doing that, I don't think. If I'm wrong, let me know in the comment section. But you go ahead and you pick up the torque just like so. There we go, 1023. So, yeah, torque is super important. It is the energy of the world. So you're going to want to keep as much of this torque as you can. I would suggest, I wouldn't suggest having 2,000 torque on your person at any one time. But I would suggest, if I'm I'll go over with my walker, and I will, I'll have 500 torque. You hit to hold down the shift button and drag, and it'll take half your stack and let go. So I'll take 500 torque over with me and do a tablet, by myself with a spider. Some guys go over with 2,000 torque and they do 4. Now I'm curious to see if you could take a soil excavator. Now I would like someone to experiment with this. I'll experiment with it and give you an update one of these days. A soil excavator can be picked up and put in your spider, right? It runs on torque. When you pick something up and you put it into your spider, it takes everything that's inside and puts it inside of your spider. So I'm wondering if you could actually carry more torque with you by putting it in a soil excavator and carrying it in your spider. Why didn't somebody in the comment section, why don't you do that experiment? If I don't get to it first, let me know in the comment section if that's possible and what the maximum amount of torque that you're able to carry on a spider is. I'm kind of curious because, for going around trying to find the I'm in the dark here. For going around and finding the ancient excavators, sometimes it's a pain in the butt. We might be having no, it's getting foggy. I was saying we might be having an eclipse here in a second. Maybe. I'm just trying to so you guys see my face. Anyway, so anyway, guys, that's torque. That's how it works. That's how you use it. That's how you move it. And I hope this was helpful to you. I had a lot of people saying that or not a lot of people. I watched one video where a guy, he downplayed the ability of a walker to create torque. But I don't think this chap had any idea about torque modules or how to use them. this dinghy of mine makes torque. I can make torque super fast, super fast. Like I can, like I said, I can make 1,000 torque in about 15 minutes. What running around getting fragments, and then if I have 2 of these on me, then I can potentially have 3,000 plus torque on me by the time it's all said and done, and I could store my excess torque in my windmill. But if you want to, you could put together windmill farms. Those are very common. And if you had a tower with Rupu slings protecting it, you could probably do it. But I think anybody can get into this. I mean, in your clan, definitely. I don't know about strangers. I haven't tried to steal torque from anybody. And this whole time we've been talking, I've gained 63 more torque. So I don't know, from the time I grabbed it to the time right now, if somebody wants to go back and do a little timestamp comparison and put it down in the comments, that'd be really cool. I'd like to know. Anyway, guys, I really hope that you enjoyed this. I hope that you learned something. If you did, give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, please do that right now. And if you guys if you have no clan, if you're homeless in this game and you want a clan, go down at the bottom of the description and hit that Discord button, the second one down on the list. It's at the bottom of the description, and talk to one of the recruitment officers. We're looking for people all the time, so we'll be more than happy to bring you in. Anyway, guys, as I always say, I am my usual me, you be your usual you, and we'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you later, guys. Bye-bye.